down like an Armageddon flame. The shame, the ones who died without a name. Yeah, the dogs howling out of key to a hymn called Faith and Misery, and bleed the company lost the war at dead. I beg to dream and differ from the hollow lies. This is the dawning of the rest of our lives on holiday. Yeah, the drum pounding out of time. Another protester has crossed the line to find the money's on the other side. Can I get another amen? There's a flag wrapped around a score of men. A gag, a plastic bag on a monument. I beg to dream and differ from the hollow lies. This is the dawning of the rest of our lives on holiday.
The representative from California has the floor. Seek out to the president, gas man. Pumped away is your punishment. Pulverize the Eiffel Towers. Who criticize your government. Bang, bang goes a broken glass man. Kill all the facts that don't agree. Trials by fire, set it fire. It's not a way that's meant for me. Just cause, because we're all locked in.
I beg to dream and differ from the hollow lies. This is the dawning of the rest of our lives. I beg to dream and differ from the hollow lies. This is the dawning of the rest of our lives. This is our lives on holiday.
So here it is. The best song.
Wives. Wives.
Okay, I debated a little bit on this. First of all, because this post I'm about to read is kind of lengthy, and it's also kind of this is R-rated, actually X-rated type of material here. Not in the sense of sexual, but in the sense of it's got a lot of cuss words. So if you're offended by cuss words, I'm not going to bleep anything out here or change words around. It's like fucking a frickin'. I'm not going to do that here. But it's such a good post. And this is a liberal show. I'm going to let this person remain anonymous because I think that would be the fair thing to do without actually having asked permission to do this. Like I said, this is a lengthy post, so I'm going to give my viewers, or my listeners, an opportunity for to get a refreshment before we start here. So 30 seconds. Grab a Coke, a beer, Scotch or whiskey, or whatever you use to get through the day. While we're waiting here, I guess for those of you who don't need refreshments, elevator music for you. Da 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 da. Incomprehensible words I can't understand. No, not bad yet. Okay, hey, I said, get a snack. Don't use the microwave, for Christ's sake. You got 30 seconds. Get over here. Okay, thank you. Christ, get a snack. I said, didn't go to the fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken and take a free-for-all here. Anyway, so I'm just going to start right off here. No comments are going to be made by me during this entire post. This post is verbatim. Verbatim. Dear Republicans, fuck you. No, I'm not joking. I'm sick of this bullshit. I'm sick of the way you've corrupted the public discourse, the way you've made it acceptable to hurl any insult you like at public officials, the way you blame us for the current atmosphere of hatred by accusing us of starting it with hating Bush, George W. Bush. Like Bush, didn't come on the heels of 8 years of your tireless efforts to destroy Clinton by any means necessary. Like Bush didn't give us a good reason to complain. A couple of posters on a website compared Bush to Hitler, and you've used it as free license to compare Obama to Hitler 24/7, and I'm sick of your hypocrisy. Were it acceptable to say shit about Obama that would have been an apologetic fit, and did, if anything remotely similar had been said about your guys. Keith Olbermann calls Cheney a fascist when he's actually using fascist tactics, and you think that gives you the freedom to call Obama a fascist, socialist, Marxist, constantly for no reason at all. Fuck you and your bullshit false equivalency. I'm sick of the way you've made the populace stupid. Around a fifth of your populace thinks the sun orbits the earth. Over half think evolution never happened. Your populace actually believe the media has a liberal bias. Not because it has, you have the most conservative media in the free world, but because you shouted it so loud and so often that you're brainwashed the public to believing it. Like the battered wife who parrots her husband's insults. You've got a whole segment of the populace shouting about socialism and fascism, and none of them know what the fucking words mean. You've convinced them that fascism is a left-wing thing. You've got them so turned around that some of them actually believe global warming is not happening. Fuck you. I'm sick of the way you try to destroy the whole concept of government. You trick the people into believing that government can't do anything right. Always being careful to exclude the army because you love the army. You love for bullets and bombs. But you've so destroyed the public's ability to reason that they don't even think interstate highways, the space program, the national parks program, etc. The government is always great when it's doing what you tell it, and it's inevitably corrupt when it isn't. Fuck you. I'm sick of your rewriting of history. You bleated so loud and long that Reagan was a great president, that the New Deal didn't work, that cutting taxes increases revenues, that you actually have the people believing this bullshit. And these are the same people who will go on to become teachers and fill their students' heads with self-same bullshit. Reagan was a mediocre president at best, who had the good fortune to be in power when the USSR collapsed under its own weight. And you bastards have turned him into the second coming. You've rewritten history so that everything foul and hateful and wrong can be attributed to a Democrat, while everything worthwhile is a Republican's glory. Fuck you. I'm sick of your dragging the center even further to the right. How many whack-job fringe ideas have you dragged into the mainstream? The aforementioned idea that tax cuts increase revenues, the laughter curve, the idea that welfare harms the poor, the idea that there's a rampant fraud in welfare, the idea that whatever is good for corporations is good for the country. And you push these ideas through corporate media, and you do it so long and loud that they become part of the accepted political landscape. And because it's easier to tell a lie than debunk one, we never get away from this rancid shit. Fuck you. I'm sick of your casual criminality. Teddy Kennedy, a man whose boots you are not worthy to lick, was just buried, and I've heard from my rightist friends for days is Chappaquiddick. Your fucking golden boy raped the Constitution mainly because he wanted to. Tortured random people, and waterboarding is torture. Fuck you too. Essentially because he wanted to. He spent like a drunken sailor. Essentially because he wanted to. invaded a sovereign nation, essentially for the loot and destroy people's lives, essentially for the evil is, and you bastards are obsessed with a fucking accent a Democrat had decades ago. You don't go on about Laura Bush killing some guy decades ago. Fuck you. I'm sick of your praising pure evil. You're letting Dick Cheney be the standard bearer for republicanism. Dick Cheney, a man so nakedly evil that even his friends call him Darth. A man so callous that Lex Luthor would recoil in terror. A man who probably has dismembered hitchhikers in those man-sized safes and kills plants by his mere proximity. Fuck you. I'm sick of your attempts to tilt the playing field permanently in your favor. Democrats filibustered a few of Bush's most hated judicial picks, and you pricks started screaming about doing away with the filibuster, but now you're in the minority. You're filibustering absolutely everything you can, and whining when you don't get the chance. You ignored everything the Democrats had to say when you had power. And now that you don't, you scream that everyone must be bipartisan. You don't budge a fucking inch on anything but insist that everyone must compromise to meet you. That's your idea of politics. Don't move an inch. Force the other guy to come to the right to meet you and call the result a compromise. Fuck you. I am sick of your corporatism. You dress it up in a false populace, but anyone with half a brain can see that you bought and paid for subsidiary of big business. You keep pushing tax cuts as the answer for absolutely everything. You keep sabotaging every attempt to control the excess of big business. You genuinely think that the world would be a better place if it was a combination of Bill Gibbs's dystopian vision of a corporate-dominated world and Ayn Rand's bullshit objectivism. Excuse me. Yet another entry in mankind's endless attempts to find a moral justification for naked greed. You have taken the clinically insane spewings of a woman literally to the right of Hitler, pardon my Godwins, and a 1984-like version of a dystopian author, and convince yourself that would be a good place to live. Big business is the enemy of the people, always has been. The idea for the corporate class is to have a small pool of people rich enough to buy their fucking crap, and a much larger pool of people so poor with so few options they can use and abuse at the corporation's whim. A corporation's objective is not to look after you, it is to make even larger profits by any means necessary. You bastards want to reinstate fucking slavery to the corporate class, and you made the public so fucking stupid that they actually swallow the bullshit you're serving up. They actually want to enslave themselves to the corporations that abuse them at every turn. They actually care more about the corporation's right to make obscene profits than they care about their child's right to live on a habitable planet. Fuck you. Fuck you, scum-ridden shithawks. You make me sick. Just fuck off and die. I hope I didn't bumble over that too much. My eyesight isn't what it used to be. And also, this was written, obviously, before the debacle of 2014, when Republicans actually did take control of the Congress. But the idea is still there. The amazing use of lack of knowledge that conservatives can get away with so much is ridiculous, and the abuses will not stop until we wise up and gain that knowledge. And I hope that this program encourages you to do just more than just listen to my show. Get on the internet, research. When you look at a candidate and you want to vote for, just don't listen to the ads. There's all attack ads. Nothing you're going to hear on the TV set. It's going to give you the information you need to make a decision. And I'm not even saying Republican or Democrat here. Vote for the guy who's looking out for you. You'll know who he is if you do the research. That's what it takes to actually make a fair and honest decision on a candidate, is research. So I hope this has been an enlightening post for you. When I read it, it was just like, wow. A lot of fuck yous in there, but you know what? Every single fuck you was deserving, I believe. Thank you.
Nice to meet you where you